Hello， 晚安，晚安。声音正常吗？好，那么虽然还有一点点时间，不过还是先简单交代一下最近干了什么。我最近在看台湾大赛，还有美国的大联盟。Hello， 雷克安。所以周末的时候没有开台，因为那时候我同时在看，我们的台湾的 G5，还有道奇对洋基的比赛。因为那时候台湾有大赛，就前几天那个兄弟对上统一，兄弟暴打统一，真的是暴打，没什么悬疑。礼拜五的时候，那时候看完比赛，然后就看到，就想说啊，那个好累哦。哦，对啊，棒球，因为我通常会看棒球、足球，偶尔会看桌球。接下来还有什么？我记得最近还有什么那个 LOL 大赛，LOL 这次我就没看了，因为要看的棒球类实在太多了。再加上2个礼拜过后，还有那个 P12要看，也是棒球。那时候看的结果就是，该怎么讲？兄弟今年拿冠军，应该说他们前几届都是冠军，就该怎么说，实至名归了。因为统一这边本来想说有古林瑞阳的话，说不定统一兄弟那边没办法轻易得分，可是因为他后来伤退了嘛，结果好像局势可想而知。结果看了之后，差不多，跟料想的差不多。该怎么讲？如果你是兄弟迷的话，会觉得比赛很好看；其他会觉得说，该怎么讲，实力明显有差，所以就觉得理所当然。好，那我们回到游戏。等一下，要是玩游戏玩累，有空再聊近况好了。首先呢，这款《Slay the Princess》这个是正式版，包含了多种各国语言。Hello Seven Deeper，Hello 企鹅君，他是去年，我记得他的 Demo 版是去年就出的，那时候就已经引起很多人的注意。有英文版我稍微玩了一下，那时候觉得他要是出中文版，我一定会买。结果果然让我等到了，真是太好了。这款游戏其实我一开始给我的感觉比较像是几年前有一款也算很有名的游戏叫史丹利的寓言，这边我相信这边应该也有人玩过，因为它也算是一款很有名的游戏。它主要就是在讲一名男子史丹利去上班平凡无锡的一天，我不知道放太久，画面放太久会这样子。对，这款是恐怖游戏，它一开始有提示你。我先这样子好了，不然等一下我要被吓到。史丹利的寓言，它简单讲就是用旁白在介绍一名叫史丹利的男子嘛，然后还有根据你的行动，它会展示出不同的结局。游戏的一大精华点就是听那个旁白在那边碎碎念。有玩过吗？有玩过，但是之前我没有把它放置画面这么久。你说史丹利还是在讲《Slay the Princess》这一款我 demo 也稍微玩过一下，不过因为是1年前的事，所以好像只玩出几个就没玩了。现在好像也忘记那时候怎么选的。然后第二个，它让我联想到的是，以前我们在跑 TRP 去团的时候，会先用一个故事带入没有跑过的人，他们会大部分的人会先假设新手玩家一个情境，就是你现在在一间小木屋里有一个兽人，然后兽人想吃桌上那个派，然后接下来你会怎么做呢？就描述一个简单的情境，然后透过玩家自己决定，开始衍生出接下来的剧情。 这个出很久吧？对啊，可是它就是去年的测试版出了这个新的完整版，我还没有玩过。应该说，我只开了一下就测试说它有没有什么功能，因为通常急着上市的话，我会想说它可能会有一些大更新，例如说修一些 bug 之类的，等放2天再来。不然其实我很想要它上市那天就直接跑了。不过刚好也是因为看到那个嘛，卡到球赛，对，说的很好听，其实重点是我要看球赛。那么就不用多说，这个很简单，你们一看就知道。所以它前面会有提示你这是一款恐怖游戏，然后画面会有那种类似那种闪烁，还有移动，所以有这方面觉得不舒服的人要自己注意。
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that
我们
path
看这样子
is a cabin,
视角会稍微移
and
动
in。the basement of that cabin is a princess.
就猎奇游戏还不到恐怖吧？该怎么讲？你对恐怖的定义，有些东西是心理恐怖，它不是那种直面而来。就有些人也会觉得这样恐怖。像我觉得只要会让人感到那种不舒服，就是会让余韵在那边想的话，就是叫蛮恐怖的，就惊悚吧。话说旁白的声音会不会太小？音乐会不会太小？你们跟我说一下，我可以调。哦，已经很大了。有中文字幕哦，以前只有英文。对啊，因为这个是正式版，所以我想说，这个不玩根本对不起自己。这种大量文本还能拿到压倒性好评，一定有它过人之处。
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
然后这边你们看这选项之多，就知道它为什么。你看，1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10，根本就像那个嘛，已经差不多跟玩博德之门的时候很像，对不对？然后你一开始，我记得我一开始就觉得说啊，你说什么我就要去做什么，我为什么要这样子？我就一开始都选说，我就是不想去，怎样？那我们这次来做，我真的想做一些比较死脑筋的选择，就一般冒险者会做的时候。你也可以就是跟大家说，跟他一起回话。那当一个，我想想看，我这人当个什么样的人？通常这种东西，我会想先设定一下我自己的个性，当一个那个好了，无情的报仇机器如何
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it. It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
顺带一提，我记得这个插画家上网查一下，他好像有得那个奖项，可是实际的奖项我没看。反正他整部游戏都是靠这个手绘的铅笔风格，我这个人也是很觉得这点很加分。而有些选项，像刚刚有些会有衍生的选项，像我们刚刚会说，我拿到什么奖赏，告诉我详细一点。可是有些就选完之后，它就会直接消失掉，那就走喽。
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
然后这个应有的声音，我们目前其实我到现在啊，因为我也才玩过几个结局，我也不晓得这应有的声音到底是什么。因为我们可以知道的是，这故事有公主，有你。有旁白，有这个应有的声音，大概就是这些人，大致上，对，大致上。
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
合理，你必须要武器才能杀了他，不然你要直接把他头扭断吗？
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
公主的讲的话会用这一行来显示，看到吗？
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
哈，这个感觉很有老式电影的风格。我就是来杀你的。
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me. I know. You brought a knife with you and everything. But you don't have to try and kill me. You could always toss that scrap of metal to the ground and give the two of us a chance to talk.
我不晓得第一次看到这个的时候，其他人会有什么想法。不过通常我觉得啦，该怎么说呢？你假设啊，通常啦，假设它是一个小的故事的话，那么公主的设定会变得很明确。可是该怎么讲，有点偷吃步的判断方法，就是因为它是一个大量的结局。那这样子的话，很有可能就是因为会根据你的选择，公主会有千百万种的变化。当然，千百万种是一种夸饰。而且要是他这样子的话，他大概如果是像刚刚讲那种说法的话，那他只有几种结局，那他可能不会拿到压倒性好评，而就只是个极度好评的小游戏这样子。
She makes a compelling point. What if we didn't kill her? What if we just dropped the blade and talked?
然后我们接下来我们也可以看到说，这个英勇的声音跟旁白的立场似乎不太一致，对不对？英勇声音我们可以看作是到底是谁发出来的。首先第一个不是公主，第二个也不是旁白，那么到底是谁？是你自己，还是说这英勇声音是第四位人士？
Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us. You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me?
而且你们看一下，公主的左手是没有被束缚住的，这是在暗示什么吗？理论上，她要是很危险的话，应该两只手都束缚住吧？是有人帮她解开了吗？还是说原本就是设计生，她只要靠住一个就可以？
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
好，你吩咐我照办。可是
I'm positive. I'm not. But we'll keep our eyes peeled. If she has a weapon, she'll have to draw it before she can use it.
万一她会变身呢？
Hesitating? Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized with each other?
来，
You charge the princess, blade in hand, but unfortunately your earlier suspicions proved correct. A blade of her own slips down her sleeve and catches you in the neck. Blood sprays from the cut, your severed carotid artery painting the princess with strokes of red. You'd better finish your task quickly before you run out of time. With the last bit of your will, you press forward, sinking the blade deep into the princess's heart.
我真的是人类吗？他们从来没有提到过我是不是人类，对不对？我身上有毛欸。
Oh.
The two of you collapse on the floor together, rapidly bleeding out.
We go down together. 一个人上路很寂寞的。
Somehow, I thought this would turn out a little differently. But I wonder, do you really think that this was enough to stop me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die. But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die.
对，这就是有意思的地方了。
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
他明明写的是第2章，可是我们又回到与第1章开头一样的地方。
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
然后你看这边多了很多第一轮没有的东西，对不对？我们这次选一个比较困惑一点的，感觉什么都不知道。
It hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. We've just met for the first time, you and I.
Hello， 王博涵，我们现在在玩 Slay the Princess。刚刚我们当个无情的杀戮机器，虽然说有稍微犹豫了一点点，我们跟公主一起去死了。不过我们现在在第2章，第2章又回到跟第1章开头部分。旁白告诉我们，小木屋里面有一只公主，她是个怪物，我们要去杀她。诶，他有说她是个怪物吗？他只说我们要杀她。
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
然后从我们目前的线索判断是，公主看起来的确很擅长沟通。然后旁白分别有2种，其实有一个叫旁白，一个叫英勇的声音。英勇的声音跟旁白的立场不太一样，所以他们两个的职务都像在旁白，不过必须有所区别。
This whole thing's a crock of shit. She's just going to pull a knife out of nowhere and stab us again.
然后这个什么的声音，受骗的声音，这受骗的声音很有可能是刚才我们，对不对？上一轮死掉我们。
Stabbed to death? Well, you won't have to worry about that. The princess is unarmed.
Yeah, that's exactly what you told us last time. When we asked you if you were sure she didn't have a weapon on her, you said you were positive she didn't. But it turns out she did, because when we charged her, she started stabbing us to death.
Calm down. I assure you she has no weapons, so there's no reason to fear her. You were made for this job. You'll do just fine.
我们假设我说的是实话，这一切确实发生，那我为什么要听你？我为什么要大费周章做人事？有道理。
Those are two very different questions, but fine. I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
好像有，又好像没有。我刚刚是不是多说了一些话？那我这次要不要改成不要犹豫？ Hello， 无名 ORZ， 我们现在在开始第2章的 Slay the Princess。
We did exactly what you said.
我们刚刚第1轮照着他的画作，然后我们死了，我们跟公主一起死了，然后我们现在又像轮回到了第1章一样，可是这是第2章。
Sounds to me like you probably had some kind of elaborate nightmare, in which case I shouldn't be held
这款游
accountable
戏
for
我
what
刚刚开头的
supposedly
时候有说，它
happened.
跟 Stanley Parable 差不多，就是史丹利的寓言一样，就是这款游戏精华很大部分是在听旁白在那边描述各类事情，
Congratulations,
还有他的碎碎
you've
念。
given a chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We stabbed the princess stabbed us, and now everyone's right back to where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely?
他们现在就开始进行，为了说服我，因为我第1轮死了嘛，所以他当然要费尽心在说服我做同样的事情。
Had you failed to slay the princess, what would have happened to everyone in the place you left?
Screw this. Who cares what happened to everyone else? She's not going to play fair, so we should do what we can to save ourselves and just get out of here.
At least you know not to trust her, but you do realize that everything and everyone includes you, right? If you turn around and leave, you're dooming yourself as well as everyone else. She just caught us by surprise last time. She can't do that twice. So long as we're careful, we can win this. That's the spirit. Just keep that stiff upper lip, and you'll save the world in no time at all.
我还可以继续跟他哈拉。
Just be quick about it. Like I said, if she killed you, it was probably because you didn't listen to me. Don't talk to her, don't trust her, just go in, do your job and
其
save.
实这边就有点像那种 Stanley Parable 里面旁白就跟说，哎，你就是给我进去。有些地方他开始感受出来他不耐烦跟焦躁。
Oh, and don't get stabbed while you're at it.
不过我觉得他的出彩之处就于史丹利的寓言，他的旁白只有1个人，然后他这个故事他把他受骗的声音跟英勇的声音这些慢慢的加进来，这个很有意思。
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
其实这有点像是在实际跑那种 TRPG 面团的时候会发生的事，就是我们在做一件任务的时候，我们可能会一直问 GM， 到底要怎样？我们是怎样，然后问太多的话 ，GM 就会开始有点随便啦，没那么复杂。为什么你们这些冒险者要把事情搞那么复杂？
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are. Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here?
If anyone's special here, it's her. That was a nasty trick she pulled on us.
She just can, but she's still only a princess. You're fully up to the task you've been given, so long as you remember that. I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult.
You didn't tell us about her knife last time, though.
That's because she's unarmed. And more than that, it's because there wasn't a last time.
而且旁白不知道为什么很尽力的想要把那个轮回世界这个事实给抹灭掉，很奇怪，对不对？这种的游戏我会想要按加速键跳过，被现代游戏养成快速略过剧情的。我可以理解，如果是我自己玩，我可能也会快速跳过，但是 我会觉得说还是因为人家都特别配音了，我会觉得有点还是听他讲完吧，而且至少都是新的文本。
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
好吧，那么这是
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her.
不要犹豫看看。
Don't believe a word she says.
He couldn't be more on the money. But we're really doing this, aren't we? I'd say you're lost, but I'm stuck here with you. We know what to look out for this time. We know to be careful. Just stay focused and you'll be fine. The interior of the cabin is a jagged mess of warped wood and broken boards, their splintered edges as uninviting as shattered glass. The only furniture of note is a pointed table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
哦，我们刚刚说是他没有完全提到镜子，为什么东西都被破坏，可是镜子是好的？
Very different. Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. A lot's riding on this. That's because there isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't.
Can you two stop arguing? It's stressful enough in here without all of this extra noise.
I care less about that and more about whether we're being lied to. If he's willing to lie about something as innocuous as a mirror, what else is he hiding from us? I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would it even do? You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
你可以看我们的手，刚刚我们是死掉的时候才看到这只手的，然后我们现在可以看到，这很明显应该不算，在什么样都不算是人类的手。所以他叫我们杀死公主的目的到底是什么？是我们本来就是与人类为敌的吗？还是说我们其实下了诅咒，然后被变成怪物，所以要杀死公主？各种可能都有。
But it was there a second ago.
Now it's gone. Yet another thing in here playing
镜子消失了。
I hate this place.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
It feels a bit better to have a weapon in our hands. Let's make her hurt for what she's done to us.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what must once have been stairs. The fractured slats look as if they've been torn from their source and violently jammed into the wall.
虽然旁白刚刚尽力的跟我们讲说，没有啊，做别人就长这样，可是他还是身为旁白还是不得不把东西原本的描述出来。
The air seeping up from below has an almost metallic quality to it, like the smell of fresh blood. And you can hear what sounds like the rhythmic scraping of metal coming from down below. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
That's right, scraping. I told you she has something. I told you.
I told you. When did I told you? 我记得我以前带过一个小女孩，她就是这样子，就是我好像做了什么，反正我忘记了，反正就 I told you. When did I told you? 我就对，好，对不起。
That sound could be anything. It's probably just her chains dragging across the floor. I am begging you to get out of your head. Her grating voice carries up the stairs.
I hope you've come to rescue me. I've been stuck down here forever.
There is something so wrong with that voice. Yeah, she thinks she's better than us, like she doesn't even have to put on an act this time.
As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view, her sharp eyes
有没有
follow
看到
you from across
场
the
景
room.
跟刚刚变化很多？刚刚是一个房间里面，然后现在剩一个长廊。
I wonder if she remembers us.
Finally, somebody! Quick, get me out of these chains. We're not safe here.
Come on now, we're not falling for that, are we? She's trying to trick us, but she can't hide that threatening edge to her voice. She just wants us to get close, to let our guard down.
If she sounds threatening, it's because her mask is already slipping. She knows why you're here. You are armed, after all.
What are you waiting for? You are here to rescue me, right?
哎，这边我们还不能直接上去捅，我们还要先跟他说说话。
Oh, you don't. Okay, I see. I have an idea. You should come over here and stare directly at the chains. You won't be able to find a key if you don't know what it's supposed to look like, so you better come right within close staring distance just to be sure.
I have absolutely zero doubts that she is going to stab us if we get close to her.
She certainly feels threatening.
Just because she's acting like she's going to stab you doesn't mean she has the means to actually do it. But you know who is armed? You. So stop second-guessing yourself and do your job.
But I'm nervous.
All the more reason to jump into the deep end and deal with her right now before you waste any more time getting stuck in your head.
哎，可以哎，虽然很多，这边的分支很多。
The princess falls silent, her smile unwavering as you charge across the room.
这次直接捅死他看看。
Okay, she hasn't pulled out a knife yet, and her hands are still behind her back. I think we can do this. I think we can win. We just have to strike now, but make sure you keep your eyes on those hands. I don't trust her for a second.
But your focus is broken by the horrible sound of
是我的吗？
metal slicing
还是
through
他的？
meat.
Whose meat? Not ours, right?
Hers at first, then yours.
我还是得死。
Hehe.
嘿嘿，
How? What did she even hit us with?
You stare down at your chest and at the long, thin blade she impaled you with. And then
Wow.
a red, angry slit along the flesh of her thigh, where the blade had been nestled just a moment ago. It's still lodged in her leg, emerging from her knee, hinging up and out of her body like some extra metallic limb.
Bullshit. Absolute bullshit.
我的心得跟这个受骗的声音简直一模一样。啪嗒，噼嗒。
You're going to die now.
With a twist of her knee and a painful squelch, she does just that.
他跟那个金牌特务里面第一集的金牌特务里面有一个脚是匕首还是什么，脚是改造过那个女的一模一样。第3章了。
You're on a path in the woods.
No, fuck that. If we're gonna have to keep doing this over and over and over again, we're not starting in that goddamn woods every time. We're starting in the fucking cabin.
You're what? The interior of the cabin is sharp, a constricting mess of curved and battered sheet metal pushing you towards... Wait, excuse me? What just happened? What did you just do?
我们我在想会不会是因为我们采取越暴力的举动，这个世界是小房屋，可能跟我们的叫什么，用一个比较 fate 的感觉，就是星象风景，就会变得比较狂暴一点，就是整个扭曲啊、崩坏之类的。
I feel dizzy.
Oh ho ho ho! I guess I took us to the cabin, didn't I? Isn't that interesting? Who holds the cards now?
我曾经也是冒险者，直到我被膝盖中了一箭。对，你这个排序我很喜欢。不过我们现在玩的是上古卷轴。
The circle's getting smaller and smaller. Running isn't an option anymore. We have to fight.
猎物的声音，我要战斗，我要战斗啊！这个我知道 ，Alan Yeager。
Good. It's better that way. Without a fight, no one can win, and if no one can win, then nothing has any meaning.
我怎么觉得这些声音已经这什么？我的心声已经逐渐的刃牙化了。这些什么什么的声音，我觉得根本就是我心里的声音。
Great. So obviously you've already been here. How many times? This is our third? No wonder things have fallen apart. You do realize that every time you fail, she escapes and an entire world is damned to destruction, right? That can't be right. That's too much responsibility. Nah, impossibly high stakes make the fight so much better. Let's just stay focused, shall we? The only furniture of note is a bent metal table, a pristine blade perched. We take it. Okay, sure, you take the blade before letting me finish telling you it's there. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
我们这一轮甚至连选都不用选，他直接帮我们自己拿走了。
This feels right. We just have to keep our senses sharp. That's right, we've got to be able to win eventually. We will win eventually. Hell, we might even win now. That's a fighting spirit I like to see. You could all learn a thing or two from this one.
这是防重吗？
I'd love to get started just as much as you would, but how are we supposed to get down there? You walk through the door. You do know what doors are, right?
不要一副我很笨的样子。
But there isn't a door, it's just that mirror again. There isn't a mirror. You really messed things up, didn't you? It's like you can't even see reality anymore. I can feel the air coming up from behind it, stinking of iron and steel. He might be right. Could be a trick. If our other senses can't feel it, then we can't trust it. If it's in our way, let's just break it and move on. You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You really must think you're looking at a mirror. Well, it doesn't exist. Just reach forward and open it.
不知道为什么，我一开始以为旁白在说谎，可是我不确定他是不是真的看不到镜子。这是不是一件很有趣的事情？那这样镜子的意义是什么？
Let's just fumble for the handle and be done with it. I don't care what we look like. I care about getting to the end of this mess. You reach forward and place your hand on the door to the basement. It creaks open. And the mirror's gone. How surprising. It was never there. Just an illusion. Let's just get to the princess already. I didn't care about the mirror before, and I care about it even less now.
虽然这些新生说他们不在乎这些镜子，可是我们每一次，应该说基于我们每一次的选择，我们其实都会靠近镜子，然后跟镜子接触，然后镜子又会消失。
Just stay focused and you'll be fine. You step forward, but you don't get a chance to linger on the basement stairs. They are smooth and flat and metallic, an unintentional and unfortunately slippery ramp that quickly sends you skittering to the bottom.
我们现在变溜滑梯了。
Your body tumbles onto the basement floor and the form of the princess comes into view, standing at a distance. She gives you a wry smile.
Hi, it looks like you don't have a way out, so I'm not going to play dumb anymore. But don't worry about how bad you did last time. That's part of the fun.
真的耶，溜滑梯。
She's got another thing coming if she thinks we're going down easy again.
可是通常那种很长的溜滑梯，到最后滑到后来，因为那个作用力太大，反而会受伤很严重，这是亲身经历。
Pride makes us dead. The only thing that matters is survival. Actually, does survival matter? We've died twice and nothing bad has come of it. We just need to find a way to win once. Nothing bad has come of it yet. Plenty bad has come of it. You've left at least one entire world to ruin. The people there mattered.
这句话很有意思。什么叫至少一个世界毁灭呢？
The past isn't real. There's only here and now. Your internal bickering is cut short by the wet sound of slicing meat. From the princess's arms erupt twin blades, glistening with her blood, the empty flesh of her arms flopping at her elbows like torn sleeves. The chain clatters to the floor.
公主的第二形态跑出来了。
She's loose, and she is coming for you.
You're going to make me walk over to you, aren't you?
Shit. She's coming for us, and I'm out of ideas.
这什么啦？为什么？我们要再跟他打一次，面对伤痛也不要不为所动，对不对？如果我们不会痛的话，他就伤不到我们。我们先承认他比较强吧，捧他一下，说服一下，我们无条件投降。哦，我们来调情吧。他的手臂可以变成刀刃，我们不行，我们要跑。抢先一步杀掉自己是什么啦？杀掉我们就算你，那我们先自杀算了。以上的点子都烂透了，更不是其他更好的方法。我很好奇其他更好的方法是什么。
Yeah, that's right. We just have to think. There's probably an answer if we think.
调情加油！我想先看看这个是什么，有没有什么其他方
Just
法？
standing there, huh? A bold strategy.
You don't have time to finish your thought. In a moment, she's
公主好
across the
快！
room, blades flashing in the dim starlight. She skewers you.
怎么这样，公主
Ow.
？Ouch！
What a surprise. Yeah, we don't even get a second to think without her stabbing us.
没有任何一次犹豫，紧接着来到战场的是下一个我。
Oh, a new one of us. I thought that only happens when we die. Did we die? Your Honor? No, Your Honor. Where the hell are you?
I don't like that we died without us knowing it. This really, really blurs some lines that I prefer not to be blurred. Are we still dead? Are we alive again?
他有2把剑，肯定很坏。你是说那个吗？西瓜榴莲鸡吗？
Stop saying dead, all of you. We might have died a second ago, but right now we're extremely not dead. This is all horribly wrong. How many times have you been here?
This is 4.
No wonder everything's such a mess. This wasn't supposed to go past 1.
I wonder what you're going to do next. You're so full of ideas, and I love that.
But I guess we don't have time to talk about things before the princess advances. Okay, whatever we do gets us another us. Let's see how many we can stack. There's got to be a point where it makes us better than her. We don't need any other voices chattering about in here. It'll just confuse us. All we need is to keep fighting. Yeah, I'll pass on that. As long as we keep moving.
Come on, show me something new.
Okay, plan now.
调情，刚刚有人说调情，对不对？他计划并未奏效，他再次杀了你，又一次杀了你。你的记忆变得模糊，意识从一段生命跳到另一段又另一段，只剩支离破碎的冲突片段。这可想而知。
Compliment her on those gleaming blades.
这什么
There's
啦
nothing better than a capable woman.
Hello, me happy。有人跟我建议说，那个现在公主要杀我们，跟她调情看看吧。结果就出现这个。
Excuse you.
You're cute.
Well, there's more of us. Let's see if that helps.
然后我们这已经是第4轮还是第3轮死掉了，我自己都算不清
Then
楚。
you skewer yourself.
哦，我自杀了。
I thought we both understood that dying doesn't get you anywhere.
Huh, that didn't do much of anything. We're tougher than I thought. What's the point? It's all the same. Skewers you.
Oh, don't give up on me just yet. You gotta keep going.
It doesn't matter how many times this takes.
是
we
怎样？
can't
公主
give
是那个吗
up.？
马莲尼亚吗？我们现在是在打女武神吗？
Okay.
观众
let's
的
go
声音
again. Just panic. Flee.
真的耶，我不能否认。
She skewers you.
No, you don't get to escape. That's not how this works.
See? We're getting better.
Okay, yeah, that was a good one. She's going to kill this body either way, so stop feeling what it feels. She skewers you.
Ooh, not bad. Real tough.
We're getting close to something, can't you feel it? One last time. You're right. One last time, that's all
再
we
一次
need.
，You die， 再一次，这一次我一定可以过水鸟乱舞。
Let's appeal to her better nature. We haven't tried that. I'm sure she'll listen to reason. She skewers you.
你觉得他看起来像可以讲理的样子吗？
And then everything goes dark, and you die.
第4章玉石俱焚。
Your Honor, don't lose your head. We're in a cabin, and we'll take it.
Everything feels like it finally fits, doesn't it? We're up here, which is different, and different is good. And our steel claw is already in our hand.
Ho-ho! What if we throw it out the window?
Over my dead body.
Over my dead body 是世间呐、啊，这指导声音是世间，对不对？王世坚。Over my dead body.
That won't be very hard. We've died a lot. But I can't say I mind anymore.
Besides, what better way to die so very many times than at the sharp hands of a beautiful woman?
这个痴情的声音，注意啊！刚建议我那个家伙，这就是你啊！看仔细了。
I'm sure I can think of a better way to die. Eh, they're all the same, really.
How about we stop thinking about horrible ways to die? I don't want us to accidentally manifest anything. The only thing we're gonna manifest is finally ending up on top. There are entirely too many of you. How many times have you been here? This isn't good. This is... How about you stick to describing things, and we'll stick to doing them?
Yeah, leave it to the pros. We'll notch up that
这
win
翻译
in
我
no
喜欢。
time.
Narrator, we heroically stride through the door and towards our destined final encounter with our star-crossed lover.
哪来的吟游诗人啊！我的天啊！
Fine by me. You walk to the door and onto the basement stairs, only it's more of a slide. We know. Fine, I'll just shut up then and speed this whole thing along. Are you sure you don't want me to describe the stairs, or this room, or anything? It feels like I'm hardly a part of this.
我们不需要那个旁白了。
Don't care, just want to win. Fine, you make your way to the basement, where the princess awaits you.
You know, this last time I killed you, and you didn't pop right back up again? I thought I'd actually done it. I thought I'd cut you into so many pieces you just weren't able to stitch yourself back together. But I guess we're not done. That's okay with me. It's good even. I like that. I got something ready for you while you were gone.
我
Do
不
you
要，
want
我
to
不
see
想
it?
看。
I'm not going to wait for an answer. I'm just gonna show you. It's worth it though. Just you wait, and not for very long, because I'm going to do it right now.
嘟嘟嘟。
Are you gonna say what she does? Do you want me to talk now? Well, yeah, she says she has something new. I want to hear about the new thing. Yeah, me too. I think I speak for all of us when I say that I would like to hear you describe her new thing.
大家达成了奇异的共识。
Really? Okay then.
Here we go. Now.
The princess's skin twists,
Oh.
splitting into red blooms of raw meat as it stretches and tears. And then it erupts.
公主进行了 mega 进化。
She becomes a wave of blood and viscera, pieces of her splattering against the walls. All that remains in the center of the room is a skeleton of blades. A heart beats furiously in its cage of a chest.
太艺术了吧！
Are Are you ready for what comes next?
Holy shit! She's gorgeous. Absolutely divine. Yes, behold the perfect woman. Do you think we can throw her out the window? That looked painful. How is she still alive? Heart's still beating, that's all she needs. This is fake. This is all fake. That's all just made up. She doesn't even have a back anymore. How are we supposed to stab her in it? This is all just a sick joke. I hate existing. We're screwed. I quit. I'm done. Forget it. All right,
哇！他们竟然全都点在一起。
What just happened?
哎，场景换了。
Quiet.
确实，他说有道理。你说哪一个？我觉得他每个人讲的都有一定的道理。
Something feels different about you. It almost makes me feel different, like I should actually take this seriously for once.
哎呦，你没有动作，然而身体却自行移动了。你接近公主时，她出手攻击了你，但在击中你之前，你已经闪开了。哎，你们有没有注意到？通常这种像漫画分页的字体的时候，是没有旁白在说话的。也就是说，这是什么？这是我们这时候旁白已经消失了吗？我相信这个是有意义的。
You're incredible.
你们的武器铿锵有声地一再碰撞，你和他都放空大脑专注地战斗，进入了无我的境界。两人交织出绚烂的舞蹈，有来有往的交战，彼此之间暗流汹涌。你们越发投入这支双人舞蹈中，心跳越来越快，攻守交替也越来越频繁，仿佛铺垫了1世纪之久，破绽出现了。你手中的匕首不听使唤地刺出，他的刀刃也同时袭来。啊，我们又要一起死了！双方都造成致命一击，你们都无法幸存，但两人都不害怕即将到来的死亡，这样死去很圆满。然后我们刚刚跳出一个成就，你们没有看到对方死去，未知的力量带走公主，并取而代之。然后镜子又出现了，你走向镜子，你向镜子伸手，周围一片静默，是时候看看镜子里面有些什么了。是你，你独自在空无一物的空间，四周悄然无声，然后现在什么人都没有了，包括我们其他的声音也都没有了。你在木屋前。
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
然后现在他变得，他声音变了。可是他刚刚有说有一个东西取代了公主，不知道是什么。哦，很多哎。我们来问，先来问好了。
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you? Thoughts without connections. A dim and nascent network. I wish to be more. I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks. Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one is a single-minded edge. She is cruelty,
but she is also joy. She will make for a piercing heart. Do not mourn her. She is exactly where she needs to be. How can the world have ended if we are talking? You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us. I know only that they are. I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free. You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you. She is part of me, and part of me is her. You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends? I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me. I promise that it doesn't hurt. Nothing, as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
他这句话很有意思，你看，从这句话讲完之后，就跑出了很多个选项。他说：“带给我更多视角，让我得以完整。也许届时我们会知晓属于我们自由。”也就是说，我很可能他要我们就是跑更多不同的选项，就见识到更多不同的公主，这样子他就会显露出他的真身之类的。然后他一开始我们不是问说这个存在到底是什么？她到底是公主还是什么东西？从旁白的声音，还有一些纷纷扰扰，我们刚说认为是自己内心的各个不同面向自己的声音都消失，这边可能是一个该怎么讲，精神上更高层次的地方，变成说只有这个东西跟现在的我的存在，我猜是这样子。然后那我们到底是什么？我一开始以为我们是怪物，可是从他刚刚说的方法，不是从他刚刚说的态度来看的话，他说我们很像嘛，那可能是我跟他其实类似那种难以解释的存在咯。我们用这个找碎片，这是什么
？More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home. I have not lived. I am not afraid to die. Everything, until we meet again. Then we will be here forever, as we are now, unfinished, dry, hollow. You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold. How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated. She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
然后我们又回到第一章。
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin, and in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
我相信那个应该是其中一个世界线的收束吧，就是有点像命运石之门那种感觉，就是某一条事件线，阿法、贝塔、伽马什么之类的，已经走到尽头就会变成那样。
You're here to slay her.
然后这边跟我们一开始玩的时候完全一样。
It will be the end of the world.
那我们这次就试试看被动的，我们试试看死都不前进小木屋看看。
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
我的想法大概是倒数这3个里面选一个，反正我这轮就是不想去。
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it. Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
不，我才不会。
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
你不能请了我，请了 very bad.
Stakes and consequences aren't emotional blackmail. They're facts of life, and if you had an ounce of maturity, you'd understand that. But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came. Oh, would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
没错，我宁愿一直绕圈圈，我也不要进去。说的对。
There's always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who's ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will. And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen. At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes, glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the leaves. But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of light.
你们看，它像史书影分身一样，这周围有1、2、3、4、5、6，现在有6个同样的镜像。
In every direction, there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin, the cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be.
又变多了。
Wait, what's going on? You're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world. You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death. You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness. But it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
第2章异客 The Stranger.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. You're here to slay her.
哎呀，所以我们刚刚那个不晓得发生什么事，但是我们就绕回来了。 不要。
Oh, don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world is at risk right now, and the life of a mere princess
既然他
shouldn't
没有
stop you
到
from
后面的
saving
章
us
节，
all.
就表示这个世界线还没收束。就算我什么都不做，应该也可以。
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
I don't know. I think it's more fun if he knows what we're thinking. He's like a captive audience.
The entire world ending wasn't enough to get rid of us. I don't think there's much he can do other than object. I wonder what else we can do to ruin his day. If by ruining my day, you mean ruining everyone's day forever, then yes, I suppose there are plenty of ways you could pull that off. The world really did end last time, didn't it? We should be careful. For all we know, we just got lucky. The world hasn't ended yet. And you are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff those pathetic little voices to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task ahead.
不要。
Oh, that's clever. A little boring, though.
It's extremely boring. Can we really do that? Can we really just do
躺平，
nothing?
彻底躺平。
No, you can't just do nothing. You have to do something.
All right, so it's decided. Even if it's boring, we're going to do nothing forever. Congratulations, you continue to waste everyone's time and do nothing. Wait, can you still hear me? Who's getting fuzzy?
哦，旁白这是在第2章就已经消失了吗？
What is that weird feeling? It's like I'm barely even here anymore.
Well, it's not nothing, that's for sure. Does that mean we messed up?
你身处的世界四分五裂，其具体物质被交织的虚无取而代之。你发现自己又来到横末，记忆回笼。远处隆隆作响，那是许多声音交杂在一起的声音。随着其他存在接近，不安的脉搏声愈发响亮。你已经知道何物栖身在此虚空之境。那些触手深入了现实的结构中，四处探查，然后找到了你的意识，将其包覆。你不再孤身一人。困惑，你为什么会来到这里？我还不完整。反抗，手指拖着爪子刮过你灵魂那玻璃般的表面。不悦，你填满了这具躯壳，除非它能带来更多馈赠，否则对我们毫无用处。力量推挤着你的意识，不，你不能回去，不能回到那里。后悔，这个世界已经破碎不堪，无法修复，我们必须编织新的世界。摆动的手指，这地方的丝线就这么多，别浪费了。我是我们唯一的救赎。返回你命定的路径，否则后果自负。又回到第1章了。
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin, you're here.
那我想看，我们这次要干嘛？我们这次，我们这次选一个比较激怒旁白的选项好了。我们不要什么事都不做，可是我们要尽可能激怒他试试看。
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end. I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right? I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
我们之前是不是有问过他一样的话？可是他那时候好像说法不太一样，对不对？
She's not dangerous. She's just a princess. The danger comes if she gets out, which she will unless you do something about it. Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey. While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her. Oh, if only that were the case, but I don't make the rules. I have to say, I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far. But unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who can pull this off. Like I said, I don't make the rules, no matter how much I wish I did. Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society. Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out. Then each and every one of us is doomed. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us.
我这次想试试看，不要拿匕首，因为我觉得拿匕首算是一个大分支。
You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost the blade is your image.
这是没有镜子。
The door to the basement creaks open. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
你们看，他的声音语调不一样哦。
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed. Good. You're still listening to reason. It would be better if you had a weapon, but you may still be able to do what needs to be done. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a
Hello， 大家好，我们现在在玩，大概算第2轮还是第3轮吗？我们刚破了几个世界线啊。首先第一个，我们跟他相爱相杀，他变成了那个超级那个 My Brain Issues， 全身都是剑。然后再来一个是我们死都不去完成任务，然后我们就直接让这个世界支离破碎。接下来我们取一个对那个和平路线看看。
They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
好可怕，好硬派的想法，直接把手弄断就没差了。
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free.
有道理，我被说服。
Attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here? You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's
这什么原理？
Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that. Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground.
如果他是人类的话，应该会失血过多，等于就死了吧？如果他是人类的话，我到底看了3小？对，真的，我刚好ouch，真是ouch，超痛的，好痒！你确定只是痒而已吗？好了啦，那个恋爱的声音，好了。
How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
是什么？有一个是，不要漏掉哦，不要弄掉。中间有一个是对的哦，好险没有现实。
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive. The blade. Move the blade. As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her blade work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
第二章少女，这才是开头而已哦。
You're on a path. You're here.
哎，我们都已经知道他很想要我们杀那个公主。这次的公主似乎还人还不错，至少她没有变形成怪东西。
My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We just met for the first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then... Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it.
哎，就是你啊！痴情的声音就是你啊
Our beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess. Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got.
我怎么还在啊？笑死！对啊，这就是你啊。
We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. Sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek.
你被旁白呛了。
What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving. Those are two very different. Let's say for you died.
这个好像我们刚刚选过。
Did us in, villain. Well, not you in the literal sense, but you did everything you could to stop us from rescuing her.
旁边说的话一样，可是我们的声音会有一些差分。
Oh, I wonder why. Maybe it's because the entire world was at stake. No lone princess is worth that price. I beg to differ. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just going to take a deep breath and assume that whoever is making the decisions here has the common sense to ignore your protestations. Anyway, I believe your second question was, What's the point of doing anything? What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely if it's the latter, do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? She would never. She's a perfect angel that you cruelly imprisoned as part of some convoluted, dastardly scheme. Convoluted? I don't know how this premise could be any more simple. Princess bad, stop her, save everyone.
上一轮的公主有点可爱，我感觉我要变成痴情的声音。这聊天室里怎么越来越多痴情的声音啦？你们这些人，那我要当什么？我要当英勇的声音，还是当那个偷鸡的声音？自己决定自己的角色。等一下，不对，那痴情的声音是全肯定，公主全肯定 bot 吗？
That's right, you can't stop all of us. We're going to sweep her off her feet if it's the last thing anyone does. Are these really the sorts of people you'd like to align yourself with? You're not at the cabin yet. You still have plenty of time to reflect on the situation. I just hope for all our sakes that you make the right call.
好。
Just be quick about it.
他有那个他有差分的，你看他连刀都握不太住，他这是延续刚刚的选项造成结果用的问的。
She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you. Maybe it's her beauty that threatens the world. Sure, it's her beauty. Why not? And before you ask, no, we can't just keep her down there. If you don't slay her, she's going to find a way out. It's unfortunate, I know, but it's just the way it is. People locked her in that. Look. Oh, of course. Calling us special isn't going to make us friends, even if it did feel nice. Oh, believe me, the last thing I want is for you and I to be friends. But I'm a professional, and I'm not going to let my dislike for you get in the way of helping you save the world.
旁白一直呛你们痴情的朋友们。
I've told you everything you know, not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her. Great, now. A warning. She will lie. We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in. I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice. I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed. Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet.
不加拉，这是不加拉题吗？有些事情自己想想就好，不要讲出来。英勇的声音。
Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead. 别管旁白，旁白懂什么？ Clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine-threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
我们的城堡变华丽了，对不对？这就是当痴情人的好处吗？我们直接整个套房从一般套房升级成豪华套房了。不对，这叫豪华牢房。感谢各位痴情的声音啊。
The blade is very different. Is it? I can't say I was paying much attention to the scenery last time around. Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. So That's because there's definitely... There isn't. I'm sure the princess would tell us there was a mirror if she were up here. In which case she'd be lying to you because, again... Exactly. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What? You walk up to the wall next... It's really...
再看一次。
Reach forward and rub it. It was there a second ago, and now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place, and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
绝对不要拿，拿的话要怎么救？要怎么救公主呢？拿的话对公主是一种不尊敬啊！啊，按错了，按成右键。I'm coming, princess.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight. But it's still a stone basement. If the prince... A soft voice carried...
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already. I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain. My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment. You know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit. Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing. And she called us a hero.
大满足。
Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it?
对，没错。我最喜欢别人谄媚我了。
Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before. That's right, villain, and you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty. And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her?
我们再看一次。我们要先道歉，还是要先跟他说：“哎，我现在没刀。”哎。
If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
She took that in stride, to a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually. That's because she's perfect. Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do? She doesn't. There's no one else like me. I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
Huh?
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done. What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with...
any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird? She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel. No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behavior and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her.
You died, and now we're talking.
No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? I would if you had a weapon. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought.
我上次不知道是谁帮我们关起来的。
You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed.
我总觉得公主的脸变比上次更柔和了。她上次还有点憔悴，对不对？这次脸好像变得线条更柔和一点，有没有？
I can't believe it, but I guess I have to. I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh.
是什么啊？不要羡慕我，好不好？
If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back, and everyone out there would be saved. Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon. Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
What do we do now?
走喽，还是先尊重一下女士的要求。
Let me guess. End the world? Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
大，真的大。
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection. And then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do? 我们要尊重一下女士的自由意志。 I just want to make you happy.
She can't just want to make us happy. It makes sense to me. That's all I want for her, so of course she'd want the same for us.
I just want to make you happy.
这是什么复读机？
Is she broken? What's going on?
这什么呀？好有点可怕。
What's going on is she's lying to you, only she isn't a good liar. Are you starting to trust me now?
That sounds perfect.
Oh, phew. She's back to normal.
虽然我很想看看他要是继续不正常下去怎样，可是我觉得我的肾值会掉。
Normal? What are you talking about? Our angel has always been like this. Absolutely flawless. The princess takes your hand, the last hopes of the entire world slipping through your fingers as they intertwine with hers. We have each other.
We don't need the world for our happy ending. I like to think that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made and this is happening. You don't have to mope about it. I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with. You and the princess walk up the stairs hand in hand. Ugh, look at the way she's smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this. And what happens after we walk up the stairs?
Hey!
Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks. That's a familiar move.
又被锁上。
Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair. We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength of true love. Enough with this true love nonsense. You just met her. Of course you wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than anything you have ever known. Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice. I'm just along for the ride at this point.
我来看看，让他看看我绅士的一面。
Okay, yeah, you've got this.
You place your hand on the door, and the lock clicks.
Wow.
The door creaks open. Are you kidding me?
Open Sesame.
Ha! I knew it. Your words are no match for the pure strength of our hearts, bound together as one. You and the princess make your way upstairs, and the blade. That's right, there's still a chance for you to do the right thing. Take the blade from the table and slay her before it's too late. You're enjoying this, aren't you? You're taking every opportunity you can to draw out the end of the world and make me suffer. I hate you. You know, if her walking out that door is really gonna end the world, can't we all just stay here? Seems like an easy win for everyone. That's not how this works. Yes, what he said. That's not how this works. Obviously, we have to leave with her. It's our happy ending.
这什么？这什么？一个是留下来，一个是要离开，然后一个是不管啊。
That's the way out. We're going to leave together, just like you wanted.
Yes, I suppose you are going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room, opening the door to the cabin, and then you step outside. Our happy ending at last.
We did it. What should we do now?
Where did everything
yeah.
go? Where did he go? Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was too busy staring deep into our beloved
世界线又收束了。
I'm cold. Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
She's cold. Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat worthy of a princess.
他被带走了，但你没有制作那件外套的机会，也不再有机会了。你该离开了，记忆回笼。
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? What is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing I felt before, it feels so much worse now. Do it then. End us all before I die of a broken heart.
你靠近镜子，你向前伸手，周围一片静默。他们走了，但镜子还在。是时候看看镜子里面有些什么了。我还是一样没变。你肿胀了啊？这什么？幸福肥吗？ 又来到了横末。你在木屋前。
When I found you in the long quiet alone, I was terrified. What if you had decided to let me wither?
他是不是偷骂我胖？是，他说你不是心碎而死了吗？冷静一点。
But your commitment now is final. Your ability to walk the path of mutual annihilation is vanished with your return. If you still wish to obliterate me, it will have to wait until I am complete. Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets whenever you are ready. Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. My joy is in seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets. Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me. My preference is for you to show me what you would like me to see. I cannot know the... The vessels are shaped by memories of you, but their impulses are drawn to the edge of the long quiet. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around. I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having... Eyes close in reflection. Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new... It feels correct. With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alley. I cannot tell you what desire, but in this moment, if I am to be an ocean, you have nurtured me into a... You will have your... This one is soft and delicate. You molded her to love you, and she'll make... Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose. I'm sorry. Words are... The vessels you choose... Is a child the same as an infant? There is still much to be seen. Neither of us know the depths of our being. Perhaps at the end of this, I will be the one to kill you. Or perhaps we will leave this place. I will long for your return. We will meet again.
温柔的心送回少女，然后我们又回到了一个新的世界。我在想，我们玩完这一轮世界就差不多，今天就弄这几条世界线就好。之后的，我想想看啊，我可能会私底下玩，可能会再开起来玩，因为该怎么想，我还蛮想要全成就的这个游戏。我看一下，它总共有131个成就，所以可以玩很久。就算我私底下玩，应该也可以玩出来别的东西。虽然我觉得这个东西应该自己选比较好，因为选择分支实在太多了。那我想想看，我们这次要干嘛？我们这次好微妙啊！我突然不知道该怎么办了。都选最后一个看看。
You make your... We're not going to go through with this, right? Ignore him.
我们不管逻辑，我们直接都选最后一个试试看。
The interior of the cab, the blade is your. The door to the base, her voice.
Hello?
Is hypnotized. Don't let it fool. Good. You're still listening to reason. It would be better if you had. You walk down the stairs and she's beautiful. I am begging you.
Hi.
You're only making this.
Thank you.
You're making a huge. No. You're doing the right thing. You walk up to the. They're large and heavy.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's some doubtful.
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
我们刚刚是学那个嘛，就是问他说：“哎，你有没有办法？”
You attempt to make your way out of the basement.
这边又回到刚刚的那个
but the door
选
at the
项了。
stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock. Is someone else here?
他要咬断自己的手吗？
You make your easier for everyone. Look at the.
I heard the door slam.
There's a slight panic.
If I could just get out of.
She
啊，他要咬断
barely
自己手了。
we could. You won't like.
哎，
what
那我们这
happens
次
if
选用匕首杀他看看，因为刚刚是直接救他嘛。
Without hesitation, you bring the blade down and plunge it into the princess's back. Finally, the wound drives her to the ground. Okay, there's no going back now. I'm with you to the end.
You bastard. Were you lying to me this whole time?
The princess pushes away from you, the motion ripping the blade from her back. Wounded, but still alive, she crouches on all fours in the corner of the room and meets your eyes with the ferocity of a cornered predator.
You've made a terrible enemy, and there's nothing in the world that can possibly save you from me.
I thought we had the upper hand, but it's as if she's barely even threatened by us. It's an act. She's wounded and unarmed. There's nothing she can do to hurt you. I'm not so sure. Don't waver now. As you ready your blade to deliver a lethal blow, she lunges at your legs with the same animal ferocity she used to tear at her arm. Your blade cuts into her again and again as you're tackled to the ground, your body racked with pain as she rips into you with tooth and claw.
她变像野兽一样。
Forget about trying to rescue her. This is about survival now. Give her everything you've got. Though your nerves are seizing with pain, you know you've done your fair share of damage as well, your blade having left deep gashes in the princess's back. You seize a moment of hesitation to throw her off of you and shakily push yourself back to your knees. We can still turn this around.
Hmm. 试试看。
The princess is still chained to the wall. There's nothing she can do to stop you from getting out of here. What if she doesn't succumb to her wounds? Whatever she is so much more dangerous than I thought she'd be. You rush up the stairs and dive past the threshold. You're safe. For now. You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade. Okay. We can make this work. She has an awful wound and we have all the time in the world. Playing jailkeeper for a while might make things a little easier. You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out? It's not like this little door will hold for very long anyways. It's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare. As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did. and I'll never forgive it. You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker. No, it doesn't.
我这样看，
These aren't threats. These are promises. Sooner or later, you're going to have to sleep, and I'll make sure you never see the light of day again.
You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped, and the door to the basement is ajar. Its lock broken, and the table shoved out of the way. Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working. It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet, and then your legs. You lie prone on the floor of the cabin, unable to do anything but witness her approach. Whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change them.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She steps closer, one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills. What a shame. If you'd only help me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest.
I'd say better luck next time, but we both know this is the end, don't we?
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends. I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
第二章噩梦。
You're on a path. You're here.
然后我们刚刚上一次背叛了他，就是我们背刺他，想说我们没事哦，结果
Again? People don't die twice. You haven't even met the princess, and I hardly think she'd be capable of killing someone as skilled and courageous as yourself. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe... Shh! What if he hears us? That's a very good question, little voice. What if he does hear you? Shit. I think you'll find yourselves very hard-pressed to keep any secrets from me. Not that it matters right now, because like I said, this...
那我们要是再去见到他，他应该会记得上一次的事哦。我说公主。
A warning. She will... I don't think lying and cheating is a thing. She was very direct with us last time. Or at least she was direct with us after we decided to lock her away. It doesn't matter. Don't trust anyone.
The
interior of the cabin is plain, the smooth wood of the walls almost featureless. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Hold on. What happened to the door? There was a door here last time. It's just an empty frame. She's already gotten out, hasn't she? And she's ready for us. She's been waiting. Can't you feel her eyes on us?
你们看旁边的窗户有一堆东西，有没有看到？你们视角有没有看到？窗户有眼睛在看着我们。
I'm going to need all of you to pull yourselves together. The princess has not
刚刚
already
就有了
gotten
吗？
out.
还说
But if you
之
keep
前有，
getting
我没
stuck
发
in your
现
head
到。
like this, you're going to struggle to get the job done. So deep breath in, deep breath out. Your task awaits, and only you can do it.
那个应该是公主哦，因为你看那个头上好像有王冠。
You reach down and pick the blade. Good. Steel can't lie to us. Is it gonna be enough, though? Couldn't you have given us something else? Something, I don't know, better than a knife? The blade is the only thing you need to finish your task. Those are the words of someone who knows he's sending us to our death. You walk up to the wall next to the empty... What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. You reach forward and rub your hand. Did he make it go away? Clearly there was something in there worth investigating if he wants it hidden so bad. You cross over the threshold and onto a series of isolated steps suspended in darkness. More eyes, too. You never mention the eyes. The air seeping up from below reminds you of fresh lightning and static, as if her cruel and playful voice prances up the stairs.
I didn't think you'd come back. We're gonna have a lot of fun, you and I.
Okay, we need a game plan. Last time we were here, just being close to her was enough to kill us. Didn't you hear my warning a minute ago? She can't be trusted. Something tells me she isn't going to be very keen on talking anyway. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. As you emerge, you find yourself between two loose rows of white wooden planks suspended in nothingness. A smattering of cobblestones visible against the inky black of the basement mark where the floor should be. She could be anywhere, and there's nowhere for us to hide. Are you really not going to comment on how weird this place is? No, I'm not. Somebody needs to be the voice of reason here, and it certainly isn't you. Excuse me, I'm being incredibly reasonable. You're the one who's just matter-of-factly describing whatever the hell we're looking at like it's an ordinary basement. We're going to die down here. I don't want to die again. Please stop saying that.
I wouldn't give it too much thought if I were you. It doesn't really matter. Because either way you go, I'm going to find you.
You turn to the right. A faintly outlined path lies before you.
There you are.
Wow.
I told you I was going to find you.
As the princess approaches, your legs suddenly go numb. Your arms quickly follow. This is it, isn't it?
And you brought a little knife with you. Cute.
There has to be a way out of this. Think. Think! What did you do? Pull yourself together. She isn't supposed to be like this.
I wonder how many times I'll get to play with you before you break.
不过这造型有够像提姆·波顿电影里面角色。
It's as if every part of your being is coming to a lurching halt. Heart, lungs, liver. Your lungs pull in a desperate gulp of air as your eyes shoot back open. What are you doing? I'm working. Do you want this body to function, or do you want... And then experience stops once more as your body reapproaches death. Okay, whatever you were doing, please just start doing it again. Are you sure about that? Are you sure that's what you want, or do you want to interrupt me some more? You have seconds left. Yes, I'm sure. Heart, lung. Again, your eyes shoot open as you gasp for breath.
Can't decide what you want to do, can you? Oh well, standing there gasping like a fish is more fun than dead, even if you look ridiculous.
She isn't attacking us. Why? The why doesn't matter. She's already proven her ill intent. Don't lose sight of your mission. Your weapon is still in your hands. Strike at her.
这选项也是超多的。这什么啊？为什么会有？这什么？这什么啊？
Because I don't want to, and even if I did, I don't have to. Look at the way you're struggling to stay alive. It's taking everything you have to keep your heart pumping right now. And I'm enjoying the show.
也是啦，他要杀我随时都可以。
The princess leans forward, bringing her masked lips close to your ear.
If I want to see you gone, all I need to do is break your concentration.
我先说，那刚刚是游戏的声音，不是我的搜寻出了什么问题。
Heart, lungs, liver. She slowly runs her velvet glove across the base of your neck. It feels like static. And then...
Shit, make her stop.
Hey, snap out of it.
Okay, deep breath. Deep breath, we're fine.
Heart, you're back. Lungs, liver,
One
nerves,
moment,
heart,
and then you're
lungs,
gone.
liver, nerves,
Just
heart,
like
lungs, liver,
that.
nerves, heart, lungs,
Ah,
liver,
and
nerves,
there's the
heart,
fear.
lungs, liver. She pulls away. Heart,
But that wouldn't be very fun, now would it? I've already done that.
Nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves.
Are you serious?
Liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver. You fling the blade into the void,
Denying yourself the opportunity to
你觉得
ever
这东西
slay
看起来
her
像是能用
and
匕首就
finish
杀
her
得掉的吗？想太多了吧。
nerves, heart,
Nobody's happy here, but maybe it's for the best.
liver,
You poor deluded thing. Do you think a single moment of bravery changes you into something you're not?
lungs,
I am what I am, and you're always going to be a coward.
lungs. She raises a hand to her mask and pulls it down. You don't get the chance to see what lies beneath before it envelops you. Like a creeping mold, the complete reality of your existence threads its way through your mind. Birth, death, birth again, decay and bloom, a million stitches from a million microscopic wounds you've inflicted on everyone you've ever met, with every muscle you've moved and every word you've ever spoken. No.
Let me out.
Your existence hurts them.
Let me out.
A lonely soul in a room by itself, weeping. It lives for 80 years and then it's gone. And then it's there again.
Let me out.
A reprieve. A good life. Love. Children. A steady career. Recognition from your peers. Here one moment. Gone the next. The worms have found their orifices.
哦哟，这一幕应该很多人，有些人应该会看到觉得很不舒服。
Let me out.
Diagnosis. It forgets everything it is. Anger, rage, distance, poverty. The lonely soul is lonely again. Love turns to mockery. It dies. It is reborn. Worse. Lonelier.
Let me out.
No. What's happening to us?
Let me out.
This is all too much. I can't keep going.
You can't keep going. Well, what are you talking about?
但他没有回答。
Oops, I think I broke you. I'll see you soon. You'll know what to do.
这是什么？精神攻击？你的身体死去，但你还是存在。迷雾之客。啊！这张怎么变这样了 ？The moment of clarity.
You're on a path in the... Shit. What the hell was that? Who are we? What are we doing?
There was a princess, I think. It's all so fuzzy. It hurts when I try to remember.
You shouldn't know about the princess. At least, not until I... You've already been here, haven't you? I guess. It feels so long ago, almost like we've never left.
We have to let her out.
No, that's the opposite of what you're here to do. You have to slay her. Slay? We decided not to do that. Didn't we? Yeah, we're supposed to let her out. It's really the only way this works out for us. If you think about it, she's the one with power here. Nobody else can do much of anything. No, we were supposed to keep her trapped there forever. I think we're supposed to be unfeeling. How many times do I have to tell you to snuff out your heart? We can't be unfeeling. Not when there's so much fear everywhere. There's nothing for us to do. We've already tried everything. We love her, so we have to set her free.
怎么又有痴情的声音？这次还可以哦。
Can we love something that hates us? Can we love something that hurts us? To be given an ounce of kindness from something so cruel would be more pure than any other love. Why are there so many of us? There aren't supposed to be so many of us. This is bad. You need to get a grip. What?
好问题，哎，你们来过几次了？
Many times. It feels like we've been here forever. It doesn't matter. Yes, we just have to do what she says and then everything. It won't. It will be for us. She said so. You're part of everything. If things aren't fine for everything, they won't be fine for you. There's no difference between fine and not fine. It just goes on and on. What does here even mean if you really think about it? Shut up. You were here. Every single time. You did your best, really. There's just a pecking order. And our cruel and beautiful goddess sits atop it, right where she's always belonged. You're lucky. What I would give to be able to forget. I've tried to keep them numb, but they're all too soft. A shame, really. I don't care how you feel. You have to slay her. You have to pull yourself together. You have to snap out of it. You're lucky you haven't been stuck here like the rest of them. There's no other way to keep going. You either need to forget, or you need to stop feeling much of anything. He's not wrong. He's the only smart one left, if you ask me. He's worse than her. We've tried that. It doesn't work. Our hearts always brought us back to her. The deck is stacked. So many paths, and they're all circles. You slowly make your way through the umbral forest, bumping against unseen trees as you grasp through the darkness for a way forward. But eventually, you do make it to the cabin. Or rather, you make it to the place a cabin should have been.
这叫什么？变成一片虚无。
All you find is an empty hill. No, this isn't right. There's a cabin there. There's always supposed to be a cabin there. Don't ask him about the mirror. He always says he never sees it. He always lies. And he always makes it gone. Stay focused. You still have a job to do, and it's best to... She's still here, buried deep inside the earth. Just walk up the hill. You always give too much space to the others. It's why you always lose. You walk up the hill, hesitating just beyond the bounds of the cabin. The cabin that isn't there. You've got to clean the mirror, haven't you? You smash it to pieces. She's on the other side, and we have to let her out. It's the only way we can be free. It's the only way we can have our thoughts back. Just go around it. Just do something. It doesn't matter what. Proceed. Proceed to where? That's a new one. Do you think it'll work? Of course it'll work. He always makes the best decisions, and it already has worked. We're one step closer to her. The interior of the cabin is much the same as the exterior of the cabin. A dull, fuzzy, dreamlike nothing. It's empty and isolating, but
There's just enough vague shape and unknown texture to suggest the structure they're in. The only object of note is a pristine blade buried in the dirt floor. A blade is your implement, take it. It's the only way forward.
我们是不是出现了第一次出现这种不能点的选项啊？就是可能是要达成某些条件才可以的。你们看这种灰色字体，我们都不能选。是不是要有2轮？就是我想想看，这是我们第一次走背叛路线，对不对？所以我们可能要走背叛路线重复吗？可能是因为这样才能达成。
You reach down to take the blade, but as you do, the ground beneath it shifts, the weapon sinking deep into the earth. You lean over the hole and gaze into the abyss. It is so very deep.
我总觉得他会爬上来，那个鬼蛙新娘会爬上来。
Deep in the bowels of the earth, you see something
哎呦，他面具裂掉了。我等一下要离远一点，我觉得他会等一下会有给我 jump scare。
It's her. She's watching us. She never stops watching us.
You really are a coward.
With every word she speaks, the princess in the pit blinks closer.
I was joking when I said that way back when. You know that, right?
Closer.
I was having some fun, and I guess I wanted to see if I could melt you.
And closer.
Watching over me forever? That was so brave.
And closer.
But forever is so long. And time erodes everything. Except for me. I've already taken your will, and you're not getting it back. All that's left is for you to take my will and let me out. It'll be so much fun. You and me, together, exploring the world and spreading fear wherever we go. Well, mostly just me. But you'll get to be there too. A witness. I can even make you a little cage if you want. Gilded and everything. Now don't pause. Don't try to resist. I've already molded you into what I need. And you lost your powers so long ago.
Do something. Do anything that isn't taking her hand.
啊，我们全部都不能选，我们只能选这个。也许他说的是对的，我们现在已经被他操纵。
You extend your hand to hers. For all her past cruelties, the moment feels gentle, tender even. I can't believe you just made me say that. I hate you. The motion is difficult at first, as if something still resists your efforts. But then that resistance gives way, and it's over.
And that's the end. I wonder what we're going to do next.
I didn't think I'd be so tired.
公主精疲力尽地瘫倒。
Why is it so cold?
你来不及回应，也不再有机会回应了，该离开了。记忆回笼。刚刚那个脸，不得不说有点像伊藤润二漩涡的那种样子。
She's gone. Yeah. I can finally think again. That mirror's back. What does that mean for us? I'm sure it'll be whisked away just like her. Maybe it won't be gone. Things are different now, aren't they? Doesn't seem like there's much else to do here. Finally, we can smash it. Oh, will you stop with the smashing? What do we say, boys? One last vain attempt to look at ourselves. Yeah. I think I'd like that.
Seems we've got a majority. All that's left is to give it a look.
你再次朝镜子跨出一步，其中的真相仍未揭晓，谜团也尚未解开。
Something tells me that this is the end of the line. But I don't feel bad about it. I'm ready. It feels okay. The fear's gone. I'm done fighting. My heart feels the game was always going to end. I'll be free of all of you. I'm ready for the truth. I'm ready to sleep.
I'm just ready to be anywhere that isn't here.
Boys, it's been an honor.
你向前伸手，周围一片静默。他们又一次消失了。镜子总会迫使他们离开，但你必须看看镜子里面有些什么。萎缩啊 ，rot 腐败。我的身体有那个黏液留下来。好，我们又回归到了手术。
I am a growing chorus of contradiction. All of me is. It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does. It says that your heart is. And yet my waters flow and I am everything. As easily as you can stand to be you. You are. My perspectives are shadowed. You, perhaps this will. The desires of my multitude thrive and endless. I yearn for what I have always. We will know. I care about your gifts, but I have no preferences.
你加深结束生命的想法，但意志的刀刃没入你身躯理应存在的空间时，你没有特别的感受。面前众多的手有一只伸向前轻触你的脸。
There's nowhere for you to be but here.
因为我想说，我这个都没有选过，来选选看。我攻击自己或攻击他都没选过，这轮来选选看。你的意志攻击面前的形体，但没有任何效果。
My roots burrow in an ocean beyond your sight. We cannot harm each other as we are now. This one is awaiting Maw. An inevitable. Do not mourn her. She is exactly where she needs to be. The tides do not dictate where. My gift to you is to let you choose your path.
他这个选择，我觉得翻正变应该是，应该有更适合的翻法，变化什么之类的，可能是用词吧，用词可能翻的用比较机械化的反应。机翻。
If that remains your choice when all is said and done, then I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
明智的心送回迷雾者。那我想想看，我们先到这边好了，玩到这边。 那现在回到主选单，这边应该是记录是以前的文字。
You're on a path.
哦，不对，回到主选，辅助功能有什么？啊，这个不是这一个。我还想说，会不会有一个目前达成的路线的，例如说统计之类的，会有那种小插图。好，那么我想想看，我们今天玩了几个，一个是我想想，一个是什么都不做，消极的结局，然后世界整个就好像毁了。 还有一个是攻击嘛，攻击然后杀他，然后他变成整个刀，他的身体变成刀一样，然后整个世界小木屋的世界变得很残破凌乱。再来还有是我们用和平路线，就公主变得很可爱很漂亮，虽然那个好像坏掉一样，中间有一度感觉有点可怕，就是它会变像坏掉一样，你高兴就好哦。可是后来我们就把它变成一个看起来就是很正常的公主。再来最后一个就是我们选的是跟前面差不多，可是就变成到最后一刻背叛了他。哦，不要，又来。对，总共大概就是玩这4个吧。那么这款游戏，就我刚刚也说了，我很喜欢。我相信大家看的时候也一定也觉得说，还不错吧。至少我觉得它很多那种吐槽旁白啊，还有什么那个什么声音的感觉，就好像是就像玩家的每个面向一样。那么之后会不会想再开来玩，我不确定，因为接下来新的游戏有很多。那我刚刚虽然说我会想再开来玩嘛，但是就我怕我自己私底下就一下子太投入就把它全都玩，而且这是很有可能发生的事情。那还有一个是接下来11月和10月底吧，现在10月底11月有很多新游戏，应该有很多人已经打算开始玩《魔物猎人》了吧？虽然现在只有试玩版。还有之前说的那个时钟塔之类的东西。好，那么在今天的实况结束以前，我有些事情想跟大家交代一下。那么首先就是应该大家有那个看到的人知道，最近频道突破了，也不是有到突破，刚好达到啦，应该说达到500的订阅数，所以我之前不是一直说我 Live Bird 做好了嘛？那么有一些那种整理，因为照片我跟绘师，因为绘师是我的学弟嘛，我之前好像我记得应该有大概说过，我就问他说，可以把这次沟通的过程就是直接当杂谈这样开起来嘛？我下次开可能就直接开新的 Live 2D 出来，我懒得切。这次 Live 2D 就是由于多了自己轴的关系，摆动的幅度会比较大。那么我应该会办投票，就是看大家喜欢哪一个皮，因为现在这个皮虽然说它只会平面的移动，但是新的 Live 2D 皮有点虽然说有点不好意思，但是对我可能有点太可爱了，跟我的形象真的不太符合，就是该怎么讲，皮太好，可是人太糟糕了，配不上那么可爱的皮的感觉。对，下次你们看就知道，对，很可爱，真的很可爱。我可以现在就给吗？我可以现在就给你们看一下吗？等我一下，等一下，不想藏秘密，那个，等一下，我开一下，我看有没有比较可以盖起来的。等我一下，不要妄自菲薄，没有啊，这是事实啊。我觉得光是，我觉得我本来就不是走那种可爱风格的，就是。虽然有想过啦，就是开台的话还是尽量就是保持一下这种形象，因为毕竟是开给人看的，但是装不了多久啊，太难装了。等我一下。等我稍微一下下，因为我在想要怎么样子露头出来这样子。因为我这次身体算很满意，因为非常应该说不是算啊，非常满意。那个我跟那个他讨论的时候也说，这次因为这次他那个也是说，我这次做了很久，我也觉得很满意，尤其是动的部分，我就感谢，就辛苦他了，真的是。等我一下。这图片我摆一下。 先弄起来。这样子啊，没关系，露就露出来了，随便啊。这是我之前在玩暖暖的时候捏的服装，基本上差不多是一致的，不过有加一些装饰在上面，像这样子。对啊，画风差很多，对不对？所以我才说有点，来比较一下。同一个人画的啦，他那时候还跟我说：“我那时候画风有点变哦，你确定要不要？”啊，谢谢，我也觉得很可爱啊。我说 Life 2D 不是我，对，到时候是会展示一下。不过我也是对这个，因为这个旧的皮已经用了很久，有感情了，对啊。对，趁现在偷偷给还在开台的人当做。谢谢你们跟到现在的福利，我不会补。那个其他人就等那个我哪一天那个弹的图要拿来弹的，当做弹字的图片编码弄好，到时候才能看到。Surprise！ 因为大概是我之前上次说的时候大概是几号啊？忘记了，反正那时候说的时候就是真的已经在弄了，然后那时候去到收完之后就稍微晃了一下，因为这次有加几个表情下去，像现在这个是没有表情的，就是虽然说会有基本的那种眨眼啊、动口啊，或者是挑眉什么之类，可是比不上这个做的变化比较多一些，当然价格也比较高一些。可是由于原本这个旧的皮当时的预算就想说，就也没有很多。这个其实对我那时候开的价格，算了，到时候聊天再说。反正我通常就是可以开一个定价，然后问说：“你要吗？”然后我就说他可以的话，我就说：“哦，好啊。”因为毕竟是认识的人，就首先就是当然是他的意愿为主了，然后接下来就是跟他说这个价格你 OK 吗？万一你 OK 就这样，不用那个不 OK 就算了，没关系。因为我自己是不太喜欢交给不认识的人，因为这个毕竟不是工作嘛，只是我个人的兴趣。那而且是现实的朋友的话，那当然就是以现实朋友为重，然后再来才是口友什么的，所以也没有跟他说什么要什么时候弄好就随便你，就算我那时候跟他说你就算2年后再给我，大概也没什么差别。好啦，那么下次开台应该等准备好之后，可能就会开一个突发杂谈。对啊，因为毕竟这东西只是个人私下的兴趣啦。如果说看到自己频道就是完全就是成长的话，当然会很高兴啊。可是不会觉得说这个东西一定要放到一个非常重要的地步啦。对，可是毕竟也是有点觉得说，好歹自己做到现在，也算是给自己一个努力奖，这样也算是给看到现在的人。虽然说很多人就是来来去去的，不过还是会觉得说，就是有点像家社团吧，能够相识就是一种缘分啊。对啊，而且花自己的钱比较有底气啦。就是万一是收别人赞助的钱的话，就你要多久没弄出来，感觉就很像诈骗，对不对？这样就不太好意思。对，要是我自己看到自己那个，例如说很多赞助什么之类的，要是没有什么下文的话，我自己会很 care 的。同理啊。好啦，那么就今天就实况就到这边结束。希望大家喜欢这个游戏，因为我个人真的很喜欢这个游戏。然后也期待说下次我开台的时候，反正到时候的你们应该都晓得，就随性一点。 那么时候不早，12点，等弄好之后再跟你们说。会先预告一下啦，不过预告会多快之前弄出来我也不知道，因为真的很忙。好啦，那么感谢，而且希望大家可以就是有空多支持一下这款游戏。这款游戏目前 Slay the Princess 目前应该还在特价，因为它这个多国语言的合集包是最近出的吧？现在在 20% off， 也就是8折，到11月8号。我建议在这之前买，而且蛮值得的吧？我觉得它至少原价购入也算是物超所值。那就这样的，那么拜拜。那么雷卡亚晚安 ，Seven Deep 的晚安，企鹅君晚安，王博翰晚安，无名 Rose 晚安。那么雅雅米亚比晚安，嘉豪晚安，俊哥晚安。那么有人还没被念到吗？应该大家都念到吧。好，那就这样子哦，拜拜，拜拜，拜拜。